Tutorial number 2 that we're doing on this channel. In the last PHP tutorial we just looked at a simple hello world program, but now we can talk about data types. So there are 9 different data types in PHP, and we'll hopefully cover them all in this video. Might move on to a second video, not quite sure yet, but we'll see how we go. So the first data type is a string. So a string is basically a sequence of characters. So for example, it's a string of characters between inverted commas. So if I say that my name is John, this would be considered a string in PHP. But I can't just say this, I need somewhere to store the string in memory. Now, there's something called a variable in PHP, and a variable is basically like a box in memory. It's a space in memory where you can store your data type. So I want to store this string that I've created in a variable called my name. And I do that just like that, and then if I want to access my string, I just make reference to the variable where it's stored. So if I want to print my string out, I can just say echo my name, and if I save that and then I go to here, you can see that it prints out my name. So that's all good. So the next type of data type is an integer. So with an integer is basically a whole number. So we could create a variable x equal to 6 and a variable y equal to 9, and we can do different things here. So we can create a third variable called z, and we can say that take integer x and multiply it by integer y and save the result in integer z. So integer z will be the product of these, integer z will now be the, variable z will now be the product of these two variables. So, and if we want to access it, we can just say that we can do echo. We can use something called the concatenation officer to join the two variables together. So we can say that if we use a concatenation operator here, we can say that echo x multiplied by y is equal to z. Yep. So that's going to print out that 6 times 9 is equal to whatever it's equal to. So we can try that now. So we save that and we go to here. Yep, and it does 6 times 9 is equal to 54. We need to add a space at the end of there so they don't get joined up. We could do this on a new line. We could just use the concatenation operator, and we could put a HTML break in here. I should put them on different lines just to make it a little bit cleaner. So this is the example of our string, and this is the example of us taking, two integers, storing them in two separate variables, and then making a third variable which is equal to the product of the two integers. And we can change this up. We can say 7 and 2, just like a basic calculator, and then that would change to 14, and then we could say like we could change the symbol as well. We could change this to a plus, so rather than do 7 multiplied by 2, do 7 added 2. So we could save that. And there you go, 7 times 2 equals, oh, it's done. Oh, done that wrong, because I didn't change this to a plus here. Let's save that again. So it does, yep, 7 plus 2 equals 9. Brilliant. So that's integers. Next thing we're going to look at is booleans. Now, boolean has 2 values, true or false. So we can say that variable x is equal to true, and we can say that variable y is equal to false. This is an example, and we can create a simple if loop that says if x, in other words, that means if x is true, we can say echo, just put a string in here, x is true, and we can say here that if not y, it's just a quick example of how you can use Boolean data types with simple control structures. Echo y is false, and we can use our concatenation operator to put another HTML break in here, and again put an HTML break in here. Oh, this keeps doing this silly thing with the view. Store default. So let's try and run that, and that should be an example of our boolean. Yep, x is true and y is false. So that's an example of a boolean data type. Next data type is an array. Now, an array stores multiple values, where these variables x and y just store one value. An array stores multiple values. So an example of an array would be if we wanted to make an array called person, and we said array is equal to John, Ben, and Andrew. And then we could do for each. We could do for each. Can't remember if for each should be one word. Perhaps should. So we could do for each person as name. This is just a little loop to cycle through the array, just to show you how we can store multiple values in the one variable. This is a variable that only stores one value, for example, and this person's variable is going to be a variable that stores multiple values. If I can get rid of this silly screen. So, and then we could do echo person. Just need to quickly finish this. And if we save that, and we go here, oop, it didn't like that. So we'll stop there and I'll fix that in the next video.